What is up, everybody? Welcome to Monday. Let's go. Monday, baby. It is Monday. Welcome back to the channel. I am Scott, otherwise known as Luda Carson. On the streets. That's my name. Get it out your mouth. But welcome to the channel. Welcome back. Happy to have you here for a review of, there it is, Impact Wrestling Under Siege 2022. So this was kind of this was running third string for me this weekend. I had UFC 274, which I did a review for, and as soon as YouTube allows me to put cards in, you'll be able to find that video there. And then also we did a review for WrestleMania Backlash, and you'll be able to find that video. Where's it at? Somewhere up there. So as soon as YouTube allows me to put those cards in, I certainly will. Go check those reviews out. They were pretty good. And then we get to Impact Wrestling Under Siege. And my expectations for this event were somewhere in the middle. I didn't really have any preconceived ideas about what to expect. I'd heard some good things about the show. I heard there were surprises. So I was looking forward to watching it. It just, I had to do a live stream about UFC, and we wanted to do a live stream about WrestleMania Backlash. So this was third string. But, my overall impression of the show, which I always like to do in the beginning of these reviews, and I think this will be a fast one. I think we're going to fly through this one. This is my third live stream in 3 days, so I think we're going to make this a quick one. Plus, I just, there's only so much you can say. But Impact Wrestling, my thoughts on the show as a whole is that this was a pretty good show. Maybe better than Rebellion, actually. I enjoyed kind of what was set up here. I think you've got some interesting stuff moving forward. I continue to think that Josh Alexander is a great champion. I think he's a star. And I think that him being the face of Impact Wrestling for the next few months is probably a good thing for the company. The interesting thing about Impact is that you used to watch Impact or TNA for the gimmicks, for the goofiness, for the wild stories and the weirdness and Vince Russo and all of that, those shenanigans. And now, and for the former WWE stars, which Impact still has several of. Okay. But you don't watch Impact for that now. You kind of watch Impact for what you used to watch Ring of Honor for. You used to watch Ring of Honor for good wrestling. And that's what we came to Ring of Honor for, right? Was good, solid wrestling. 3 to 4 to 5-star matches every night. You were getting some solid work. And that's sort of what Impact has become for a lot of it. And particularly the X Division, which has always been good. Impact's X Division has always been one of the bright spots of the company. Kind of like WCW's Cruiserweight Division was. But, going into this, my expectations were somewhere in the middle, and they were met. They were absolutely met. So without further ado, let's get into the show. And we will talk about a few things. I probably won't go into too much detail with this review because, quite frankly, you know what? Let's just share the whole screen. Why not? Let's share the whole screen. Why not? There it is. So let's go ahead and start. So this match here, this was the first match. You don't care about this. This was the first match of the night. And I believe this match originally was scheduled to take place on the pre-show. But it was moved up to the main card for some reason. So you have Madison Rayne taking on Giselle Shaw. And the story here is that Giselle Shaw is teaming up with Alicia. They're kind of like unwanted friends. They don't really want to be friends, but they are. And they're kind of teaming up here. And so you got a one-on-one contest between Rayne and Shaw. This match, and this is not a knock really on either of the girls in this match, but my expectations were pretty low. I just stopped showing that, but I just didn't know what to expect here. Honestly, I just didn't. And my expectations were were met and then some. This was a really solid opening match. The two girls worked really hard. They put on a nice little match. Really, the story was Shaw had the advantage early. Dashwood would provide a distraction. Madison Rayne would take over. The whole idea here is that Shaw wins, and then this sets up the potential tag team title match where the Influence, which is Tenille Dashwood and Madison Rayne, the Impact Wrestling Women's Tag Team Champions, will defend against these two, and we'll see where that goes. But listen, I don't watch Impact regularly. I think I'm going to change that though, because I've enjoyed what I've watched so far. But Giselle Shaw, this is my first time seeing her. She's a pretty good worker. This wasn't bad. And Madison Rayne, Madison Rayne's been around for a long time. You can think what you want of her style and her work. I certainly think it's improved over the years. But this was a solid match. If I had to give this match a star rating, I would say 2 out of 5. It was solid. There was nothing offensive here. It wasn't fantastic. It didn't blow my mind, but it was a good little opening match, right? It set the tone for the night pretty well. And if you don't watch Impact, this match doesn't really have a lot of stakes, but that's okay. You really don't need all of your matches to have tremendous stakes, right? It's really not something that you need all of the time. But to be fair, like I said before, they put on a pretty good show. All right, so we followed that matchup, and this next match was Steve Macklin versus Chris Sabin. And I am not going to lie. I thought this was going to be very good, and it sure was. This was my match of the night. I saw that some people had a different match of the night. Let me know in the comments section what your match of the night was. But this was definitely mine by far. Macklin and Sabin. What's there to say? Incredible work. Both men were given an opportunity to show what they have. This match was booked very well. They were given a lot of time, and both men really had the advantage at different times in the match. And you could have gone either way with who won. I don't think the fact that Chris Sabin did win, by the way, the finish came after Sabin hit the clothesline from Hell, Michigan, and then took to the top rope, but eventually it led to the cradle shot, and Sabin gets the win. But I don't think that this just diminishes Macklin at all. Macklin put up a really strong performance. He was in this match the entire time. Both men come out of this match looking strong. This is how you book two guys who can go in the ring. Seriously, it's not that hard. But if you give them time and you make both of them look good, then it doesn't matter who wins in the end, because both guys are going to come out of this match strong. And that's exactly what happened here. That is what Impact did. They built a match. Both guys came out of it looking incredible. And in my opinion, this was, like I said before, this was the match of the night. So I was really impressed. If I had to give this match a star rating, I would say 4 stars, bar none. This match was incredible. Let's go ahead and move on. So after this match, you had a promo spot from Deonna Perazzo where she kind of builds herself up. She says, look, I can do anything I want, because Deonna, the story here is that Deonna is kind of on a downslide, right? She loses her Reina de Reyes title to Taya Valkyrie at Rebellion, and then goes on to AEW Dynamite and loses the Ring of Honor title to Mercedes Martinez. So the story here is that, hey, 2 title losses in a row, that's significant, right? And so Deonna's kind of pissed. She's in a pissed off mode, right? She wants her titles back, and she gets her first opportunity tonight with the Reina de Reyes title. And I want to actually time out here, and I want to talk about her losing that title to Mercedes Martinez on AEW Dynamite. I don't know what her relationship with Ring of Honor is. I don't know if she will continue to compete on Tony Khan's Ring of Honor, but I think it was a mistake to have her lose the title. I think Deonna is a great heel champion. I think she would have been a great heel champion for Ring of Honor. I am not as high on Mercedes Martinez as a lot of people are. I think she's fine, but I think she's a generic, boring babyface, and I don't really see a lot of upside there. Deonna Perazzo is kind of in that same category, in my opinion, to a lesser extent, but in that same category as Britt Baker, where you can have her be a really good heel champion, and she can really be the face of your promotion. So having her Ring of Honor champion makes all the sense in the world to me. The crowd wasn't into that match at all at Dynamite. They booked it very poorly. And this is some of my criticism of AEW. It goes beyond the women's division. Everybody wants to say AEW runs a poor women's division. And while I think that's semi-true, I think there's a lot of criticism that could be levied at AEW as a promotion. I'm not an AEW hater. I actually love AEW. I've been down since day one with AEW. But it is a criticism that I have. So coming into this match, you have a pissed off Deonna Perazzo wanting her title back against Taya Valkyrie. That's the story here. This match was nothing to me. I really didn't care for it very much. I think Deonna was working like a pissed off heel. I've never been a big fan of Taya Valkyrie. I said this during the Rebellion review. I'm just not really into her style. I understand why some people are. But the finish came as Deonna went to use the title belt as a weapon. Taya rolls her up and wins. After the match, Deonna was super pissed off, like I said before. She starts beating on Taya Valkyrie, and then the lights go out, and all of a sudden there's all these masked people on the stage, and then there it is. Mia Yim is back in Impact Wrestling. She and Deonna fight, so there's your storyline. It's going to be maybe her and Deonna going at it. I understand the whole lights out thing for debuts, and it's sort of like AEW does it. A lot of people do it. It's like a cliche. Ring of Honor. You see the lights go out, and then someone debuts. But what I think is goofy about it a little bit is that you've got Taya Valkyrie taking an ass whooping in the ring, and Mia Yim has all this time. If she really wants to come out and save Taya, she's got all this time to have all these goofballs and masks come out and stand on the stage. And then she makes her entrance and then comes down to the ring. It's like, bro, if your purpose is to come out to save Taya, you're sure wasting a lot of time letting Taya get her ass beat. And turning the lights off, I don't know if you know this, but when you turn the lights off, people can still throw punches. So if Deonna's on top of Taya and the lights go out, well, she's still on top of Taya. So she can still continue to kick her ass. It doesn't stop anything. You get what I'm saying? So I don't quite understand the gimmicks and the stuff like that if her goal was to come out and save Taya. So I don't know. I think all that stuff is whatever. I understand why you do it. You got to build for Mia Yim. And I don't know. What do we, I'm excited for this opportunity to see Mia Yim and Deonna work. I think it's going to be I think they'll work well together. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think that's pretty cool. I think Mia Yim, I heard she signed like a 6-month contract with Impact, so she'll be there for a little while. But again, I understand why Taya wins this title, retains this title. I understand why she won it in the first place. But Deonna's a better champion, in my opinion. That's my opinion. So I'm allowed to have it. Okay. After this match, we got a promo from Trey Miguel. Basically, good little promo. It was basically that, Miguel has never beat Ace Austin one-on-one. And he wants the opportunity to do so to get his title back. And so essentially the promo was, look, I've never beat Ace Austin on a one-on-one contest. I'm going to do that tonight. The announcers were really hyping up the idea that Trey Miguel hadn't lost a singles match in a year. And the one loss that he had was to Ace Austin. So we got the build for this match. And that was next for the X Division. We went right into it after that promo. For the X Division title, it was Ace Austin versus Trey Miguel. And, again, I said it about the Macklin and Sabin match, but I'll say it again here. Just another phenomenal match. Really, these guys put on a fantastic match. It was back and forth. There was some innovative offense. This is something that I want to say. This is what the X Division should be. And this match was everything that you would expect from a great X Division match. You've got two super athletic guys who are just doing innovative moves and making everything look good, by the way. Nothing looks like shit when these two are in the ring with each other. Everything looks good. The finish, again, Ace Austin wins. The finish comes. Austin hits his move, the fold, which looks really cool, by the way. And Ace Austin wins, retains the title. So, where will they go next? I don't know. But what I can say is that once again, Impact Wrestling on a pay-per-view. This is another phenomenal match. That's 2 so far. This is another match I would give 4 stars to. I think it was great. I think they could have been given a little more time, in all honesty. Like, I could watch these guys wrestle for an hour, and I would enjoy every minute of it. So give them more time. I don't really like Ace Austin's character too much because I think the baton's a little goofy, but whatever, man. Listen, your character is who your character is, and people seem to get behind it. So just because I don't like it doesn't mean anything. I'm just a goofball who is currently dressed like he works at the zoo for reasons that I don't know. Just grabbed this shirt today. Next up, we got the gang warfare, man. We got gang warfare. It was the Honor No More versus the Bullet Club in a 5-on-5 matchup. Now, usually, when you get these big stables matches, they're a bit of a mess, and they're not very entertaining because guys really don't have time to get their stuff in. So you get the 5-on-5, it's a brawl, and that's it, right? Usually everybody gets like a minute or two, but they gave this match enough time that I think it was actually better than I anticipated it was going to be. Would I rather see all of these guys in one-on-one competition against each other? Absolutely. But I can safely say that this match started rough and messy, and it was a bit of a brawl, and I thought, oh, great, we're going to get just these guys just brawling all over the ring, and there's going to be no order to this match at all. But it did ended up coming into the ring, and the ref did get order, and everybody kind of got their stuff in, and it was back and forth. And in all honesty, I didn't know who to expect to win this match, but I think a lot of the Bullet Club guys are going to be in Japan for New Japan. So I thought maybe Honor No More would win, and they did. Plus, they've really been building Honor No More up, not as a Bullet Club replacement, but as kind of the next big heel stable. So they've been building them up. So it doesn't surprise me that Honor No More does get the win. But this was okay. This was okay. Again, would I rather see these guys in one-on-one matches? Absolutely. Or tag team matches? Sure. But this was okay. Bullet Club is really a shell of its former self anyways. And, Jay White is obviously the star of Bullet Club. I don't think that's a controversial statement to say. The crowd during this match was cheering for Jay White. They wanted Jay White. And of course they want Jay White because he's the obvious star here. But this match was all right. It was just a good 5-on-5 brawl. Nothing special really here. 3 stars if I had to give it a rating. I know people like the ratings, so I'm throwing ratings out there. I would say this one was a 3-star match. It wasn't spectacular. It wasn't incredibly offensive, and it was better than I thought it was going to be. So what can you really say outside of that? I mean, again, the theme of this pay-per-view for me is that my expectations were pretty much exceeded. But there was one match that really disappointed me. Actually, it didn't disappoint me because my expectations for the match were low. So I kind of got what I expected. But again, it's a women's wrestling match. Now, earlier in the night, we had a great women's wrestling match, but it was Tasha Steele versus Havoc. And I did not have high expectations here. And I have a little bit of a beef with this match. And it's basically, first of all, the strange voodoo stuff that leads up to the match is goofy as shit, and you're not going to convince me otherwise. It reminds me of Warrior WCW days prior to Halloween Havoc, when the Warrior was doing goofy shit with Hogan, and he abducted the disciple, and he became the Warrior's disciple, and he was coming in and out of the ring through smoke and appearing in windows. That's what the shit reminds me of. It's just goofy as hell. It also doesn't play well with Tasha Steele's character at all. It's like they're just 2 different worlds mixed together, and it's kind of weird, and it comes off odd. I did not like this match at all. I thought this match was booked pretty poorly because you've got Havoc, who's a monster. She's a big girl, and Tasha Steele is about as small as a girl can be. And putting these 2 together, Tasha Steele's got way too much offense on Havoc. Tasha Steele came into this match and she was like dancing around, and I understand she's supposed to be cocky, but she's shaking her ass and all of this dumb stuff. And I'm thinking, you're in there with a monster. Why are you shaking your ass? Why would you be shaking your ass? Why would you be wasting time when you're in there with a monster? And the whole story leading up to the match is that you've usually got backup in your corner that you don't have. So I understand that you're balancing this idea that Tasha Steele is a tough champion. She's a badass versus Tasha Steele is a heel. But if she's going to be the heel, she probably should have been a little afraid of Havoc because Havoc's a big girl. Okay, this match wasn't good. I didn't like it. I don't think these two had a good chemistry at all. I thought it was booked pretty poorly. Just not great. So Tasha Steele hits the blackout, and that's the match. Steele ends up winning. Give this match a 1.5 out of 5. Not my thing at all. And I just, again, I get it. You're continuing this feud between Tasha Steele and the Decay, but this was a clash of styles that just did not work for me at all. And you know, I will also say that I think Tasha Steele has a lot of potential. I said that after the Rebellion show, but the like, I don't know. It's just this match wasn't booked very well, in my opinion. So moving on, we go to the Briscoes. It's the Impact World Tag Team Championships. You've got Violent by Design taking on the Briscoes. And I have to admit that the Briscoes are one of my favorite teams. Let's get this up here so the graphic looks good. The Briscoes are one of my favorite teams of all time. I freaking love the Briscoes. I'm a Briscoes mark, so it's hard for me to say bad things about them. This match was good. Another match that just wasn't great, but was good because the Briscoes work so well. They just really do. And I'm glad that they came out of this as the champions. I'm glad they're going to continue working with Impact Wrestling because there's a lot of teams that the Briscoes can go up against. There's a lot of good matchups there. They're a good fit for what Impact is now. Because again, like I said, Impact now in 2022 feels a hell of a lot like Ring of Honor in the past. And so having the Briscoes there just makes sense, makes all the sense in the world. And what else can you say about it? You know, Briscoes are the new tag team champions. Violent by Design loses the titles, but they'll be fine. It's a weird stable anyways, but it is what it is. All right, so now here's the big surprise of the night. And I heard a lot of people talk about this. Moose comes out to the ring. He's not going to let the main event happen, okay? He's pissed off. And out comes Sami Callihan. Sami Callihan with the bat. Attacks Moose. Basically says, I'm back. So it seems like we're going to get Moose and Callihan. We're going to get that moving forward, which is interesting because where's Josh Alexander going to go moving forward? Maybe it'll be a 3-way. I have not seen spoilers for the TV tapings, so I'm sure the answers are there. I tend to not like to look at spoilers. I like to watch the shows. That's just my thing. But speaking of Josh Alexander, after all of that, we get to the main event of the night. And the build here is that Ishii is Ishii. And anytime that you go into the ring with him, you could lose. It's Josh Alexander. There isn't too much story beyond that, except that this was the hand-picked opponent for Josh Alexander by Scott D'Amore. And there you go. What to expect out of this match? Because at Rebellion, we were a little disappointed. At least I was a little disappointed with Ishii. But this match delivered. And again, it just really speaks to Josh Alexander and how solid he is of a performer. I think Josh Alexander, I said this in the opening of the show, Josh Alexander is a real star. And Impact Wrestling, having him as their champion, having him as sort of the face of the company, it's a good move. He's very solid in the ring. And so with Ishii, you're just getting two kind of hard workers, right? And it was a good match. It delivered. Obviously, Alexander wins the title. I thought it was what I did think was interesting about this match, though, is that a lot of the crowd was cheering for Ishii during this match. So that is something that you do need to watch. Now, could this have just been a weird one-off because it is Ishii and he carries a certain amount of respect with him? Absolutely. That's absolutely a possibility, right? But you do need to be careful that the kind of the shine doesn't come off of Josh Alexander and the crowd doesn't turn against him, because he is getting kind of the mega push. So the crowd could turn against him. And I really hope that doesn't happen, because I think if booked correctly, Josh Alexander he's a good champion. He's a good babyface champion. But you got to book him correctly. So we'll see going forward what kind of happens with that. But overall, my thoughts overall, and I told you this was going to be a short one. My thoughts overall is that this is just a good show from Impact. This was a solid little Impact Plus, Impact Ultimate Insiders match or show. You got some great matches. There were two that I thought were 4-star matches. This one I gave about a 3.5, but I understand why some people loved it. And so solid work most of the matches. Again, I didn't like the Steele's Havoc match, but I had my reasons for that. You might have liked it. That's okay. I just didn't think it was booked very well. And I'm excited about what Impact has for us going forward, which is something that I have never said about Impact really before very much. So I'm interested in what Impact's doing. I like the quality of the matches we're getting, and this was another solid show from them. We got Slammiversary coming up. I'm really excited. I'm actually really excited for Slammiversary. I thought about going to Slammiversary, but I just don't think that's going to happen. We're going to SmackDown on June 3rd instead. I think that's in Columbus, Ohio. So we're going to SmackDown. But I did think about going to Slammiversary. It'll probably be a pretty solid show. So up leading up to Slammiversary, give me more Impact, because I'm interested and I'm excited. So that's what I got. What I would like to hear, though, is what you thought of the show. What was your favorite match? Do you agree with me? Did you not like the Tasha Steele's Havoc match? Do you think that was booked poorly? What are they doing with Tasha Steele's? Comment in the comments section. Like, share, and subscribe to the video if you like my work. We've got another Misremembering podcast. It's a Mandela Effect podcast. I highly recommend you check that out. We've got another episode of that dropping tomorrow. We'll be recording that today. It's going to be about the Berenstain Bears. I said it. Berenstain Bears is the accurate way to say that. But it's going to be about that. I think it's a good one. That's like the OG Mandela Effect. So we'll be getting into that. Also, this coming weekend, we'll be covering UFC Fight Night and a lot of other stuff. So I think we're doing a movie review at some point this week. So just a lot of stuff going on the channel. Give us a check out. Give us a like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And I will see you guys on the next one. Have a good week, everybody. Peace.